This morning, we have aid and fuel trucks bound for Gaza. We've seen forming up and waiting at Egypt's Rafah crossing. This all comes after Israel resumed preparations to open up the main crossing as Hamas handed over more bodies of dead hostages. It's following a dispute that had threatened the fragile ceasefire in the Palestinian enclave. While diplomats debate disarmament and border control, families in Gaza are still struggling for food, fuel, and safety. To understand how this latest phase of peace efforts will be felt from a Palestinian perspective, we're going to be joined by Atlanta-based defense attorney Musa Ghanayem. Welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me.
All right. When you hear the words peace in the Middle East, what does that really mean to you? Not from a political standpoint, but from a personal standpoint.
Well, when I hear that phrase, it makes me very happy. For years and years, and my displaced family would love the opportunity to have peace and live amongst the neighbors that they lived amongst before 1948.
You've been watching this process very closely. Does the ceasefire and the new 20-point framework present meaningful change, or is it just a pause, I guess, in what's taking place?
Well, technically it's a pause, and indeed it's already been violated. There's allegations that Israel has already killed some 44 people that were unarmed and trying to get back to an area that they had opened up. So, I mean, a ceasefire is a lot of lip service right now until they stop killing Palestinian people and treating them with humanity and dignity. It really is just a cautious optimism.
Yeah. Talk to us about this side of the world, or this section of the world where people here in Atlanta may have never been there, really don't know. Talk to us about how that is.
Well, you know, I think a lot of people have a misnomer about the Palestinian people. There's a lot of Palestinian Christians, there's a lot of Palestinian Muslims, and there are Palestinian Jews that have lived there before 1948. I can tell you that from my visit there, it's a very tense place. The Palestinians are walled in on both the West Bank and in Gaza. They have very limited ability to work and limited ability to travel. For example, if you lived in the West Bank and your grandmother lived in Jerusalem and she were to pass away, you couldn't even get a permit to go to that funeral, even though you're less than 8 miles away.
Wow. Have you talked to any friends or relatives in that region right now? And if you have, what are they saying about this? Do they see it as a beginning of peace or just another pause in pain?
At this point, they don't care if it's peace or a pause because the killing has temporarily stopped on a mass scale. And I say that after 44 people have been killed since Israel has decided to resume its actions. Mm-hmm. So, you know, here we are now trying to see, and we have a lot of people there that are cautiously optimistic. They're happy. They're praising the president. They're doing everything they can. They're rationing food. They're rationing water. They're sending short notes to their family, letting us know here, we're okay. We're alive. We don't have food. We don't have insulin, whatever they can, because you have to understand that Israel controls all the communication that comes in and out of Gaza.
Yeah, I heard you say that they were praising the president. Or how does that part of the world see us? How does that part of the world see the United States?
I mean, I think it's very hard for them to look at them as anything but someone who has benefited the oppressor in the region, right? But they're very open to becoming an ally. And as a result, they're willing to negotiate, even though it seems like every negotiation ends up being a setup, like the one in Qatar and the one that they did in Egypt and then the one that they did in Lebanon. Each time Israel's taken that opportunity to assassinate the peace negotiators. Mm-hmm. So this is very fragile. It's welcome, but we are very, very concerned about how it's going to proceed.
What's still needed in your opinion?
The recognition of the humanity and the dignity of the Palestinian people. There's nothing else. Yeah. No matter what you say about the Palestinian people, about different groups that are in the Palestinian people, different factions, the Palestinian people are human beings. We are educated. We are in the diaspora. We are people. We are not animals. And until people treat us like human beings, just like everyone else, there's going to be conflict.
Mm-hmm. You describe yourself as a Palestinian Christian. How does your faith guide you and your perspective through this long, painful conflict?
You know, it's very difficult to keep the faith, right? When you see this, and so it's a stretched faith. It's prayers. There are a lot of groups trying to get together to see if they can help the families that are over there and provide them with medical equipment. But at this point, I would say prayer, and that's by all communities, not just the Christian faith, the Jewish communities, the Muslim communities, the Christian communities, all the prayer that we can get.
Yeah. Musa Ghanayem, thank you so much for joining us. Really appreciate it.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. Take care. Have a good day.